It's now with great pleasure that I call upon one of the people directly involved with the development of the Cobalt-60 unit, the Honorable Sylvia Fedoruk. Ms. Fedoruk.
Thank you, Mr. Minister, Your Worship, friends. I am really quite happy to be here this afternoon. I bring greetings from two of my former colleagues, Doug Cormack from Calgary, Alberta, and Ed Epp from New York. I believe we are the three remaining actors that participated in the movie that started way back in 1951. And first of all, I'd like to say thank you to the Saskatoon Cancer Agency. You've brought our unit here and to a place where I've always felt would be the resting place of the Saskatoon Cancer Unit. And you'll notice it's in the proper color green, which was usually the color most noted on Sundays during the television show of the Rough Riders. I must say that personally, I want to thank the agency because when I retired from my 35 years at the Saskatoon Cancer Clinic and Saskatchewan Cancer Commission, they established a prize in my name, which is awarded annually to the best paper that's published in medical physics. And I want to thank the agency for continuing to provide this fellowship or this scholarship, enabling the researcher to attend the annual meeting of the Canadian Organization of Medical Physics and receive a monetary prize as well. And one more thank you is to the Saskatchewan Cancer Society. I should tell you that with the story about cobalt and so on, there was many a night where somebody from the cancer clinic, mostly Dr. Johns, occasionally I was asked to go to the traditional dinner and talk about what was happening at the university. But it was the Cancer Society that asked me in 1942 if I would accept $1,000 grant from them to visit the United States, to visit 7 different centers in the United States to find out what the story of using radioactive material in the diagnosis and treatment of cancer, aside from what we were doing with cobalt. And off I went on this 2-month jaunt, traveling by train. And you should know that I was able to visit some very outstanding places in Detroit, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, San Francisco, New York, Chicago, and saw what was going on with procedures such as diagnosing whether a person had a cancer of the thyroid by giving some radioactive iodine, and then seeing whether the lump in the thyroid took up the iodine or not, and in fact producing a picture of what was going on, and also seeing the work that was being done in diagnosing whether there was metastatic liver disease using a different isotope. Anyway, I was there to learn all these new procedures, and I was astounded to find out that they were more interested in what I had to say about what was happening here in Saskatoon, because the word about the Saskatchewan clinical research that was begun by Dr. Sandy Watson and Dr. Charlie Burkle was becoming recognized as the first really clinical research program established to see whether cobalt-60 and radiation from the betatron would be useful in combating cancer. You should know that I was pretty frugal on that trip. I had $1,000 to travel for the 2 months, and I came back and I'd actually spent $1,007 on that trip. There are many tales I could tell about the days of course, we were 4 students that were lucky to be chosen by Harold to work with him on the project. Seeing Sandy Mackay here this morning reminds me of what Lloyd Bates, one of my colleagues, his principal job, besides drawing up the drawings, mechanical drawings for the construction of the unit, his main job was to sit at Acme Machine and Electric every day as much as he could to keep track of who came to ask John whether he could take time off from building the cobalt unit to repairing parts for his tractor or parts for his combine. John was the chap that was, he had a big heart, and he would refuse no one to have his expertise. And I'm truly convinced that many of the artifacts that you have in your museum here, in some way or other, that some piece of that equipment passed through Acme Machine and Electric at the time. Last night I went for dinner last night, and guess where? It was just directly across the street from where Acme Machine and Electric was at the station place, Avenue A and 23rd Street, which is now Idlewild, of course. It's a great afternoon. You're all here, so I'm sure that you're anxious to have some refreshments and then awaiting a very good scientific discussion. Thank you very much.